Once upon a time, in a sunny meadow, lived a little squirrel named Sammy. Sammy was a lively and adventurous squirrel who loved exploring every nook and cranny of the meadow. Sammy had a big bushy tail and bright curious eyes that sparkled with excitement. He was always on the lookout for new adventures and tasty treats. He loved to scamper up trees and gather nuts, storing them away for the colder months. Climbing trees was his favorite pastime, and he was very good at it. One day, Sammy was very hungry. His tummy rumbled loudly, reminding him that he needed to find food soon. He searched everywhere for nuts, but they were all gone. The ground was bare and the trees were empty. Sammy began to worry. Winter was coming, and Sammy needed to gather food. The days were getting shorter and the nights were getting colder. What would he do? Sammy's mind raced as he thought about the long, cold winter ahead. Just then, Sammy's nose twitched. He caught a whiff of something on the breeze. He smelled something delicious across the meadow. It was a scent he couldn't ignore. It smelled like the biggest, tastiest nut in the world. Sammy's mouth watered at the thought. Sammy had to have it. With determination in his eyes, he set off across the meadow, ready to face any challenge to get that nut. There was a problem. Sammy, the little squirrel, had never faced such a challenge before. A rushing river cut through the meadow, its waters moving swiftly and relentlessly. It was too wide for Sammy to jump across. The gap seemed impossible to bridge. The little squirrel felt afraid. The sound of the rushing water was intimidating. What if he fell in? The thought of being swept away by the current made him shiver. Sammy sat by the riverbank watching the water rush past. He pondered his options. He really wanted that nut. It was the biggest, juiciest nut he had ever seen. Taking a deep breath, Sammy knew what he had to do. He couldn't let fear hold him back. He had to be brave. Gathering all his courage, he made a plan. Sammy scurried up the tallest tree he could find. He needed a better vantage point. He looked down at the river. From up high, the river seemed even more daunting. It seemed so far away. The distance was intimidating, but Sammy was determined. But Sammy knew he could do it. He had to believe in himself. He closed his eyes and took a big, brave leap. With all his might, he soared through the air, hoping to reach the other side. Sammy flew through the air, his tiny heart pounding with excitement. The wind rushed past his fur, and for a brief, exhilarating moment, he felt weightless. For a moment, he felt like he was flying. The trees blurred around him, and the ground seemed so far away. He landed safely on the other side of the river, his paws touching the soft earth with a gentle thud. Sammy took a deep breath, feeling the thrill of his daring leap. He was so proud of himself. Sammy found the nut, a treasure he had been seeking for days. It was nestled under a pile of leaves, glistening in the sunlight. It was even bigger and tastier than he imagined. The nut was perfect, a reward for his bravery and determination. He happily munched on his prize, feeling very brave and strong. Each bite was a reminder of his courage and the adventure he had just experienced. Sammy learned that day that being brave doesn't mean not being afraid. It means having the courage to face your fears and take that leap of faith. It means facing your fears and trying your best. Even when the odds seem against you, bravery is about pushing forward. He scampered back to his nest, his heart full of joy and his tummy full of nuts. Sammy knew that he had grown a little braver that day, and he couldn't wait for his next adventure. Sammy the squirrel teaches us that even when we are afraid, we can be brave. When we face our challenges, we discover how strong we truly are. So the next time you feel scared, remember Sammy's big leap and find the courage within you.